Hi, welcome to episode 2. My name is Wayne Scurra. I'm a musician, songwriter and producer. In this session we will look at how we can use the Maschine MK3 hardware and software to create some further layers and arrangement ideas to our song, continuing from where we left off in episode 1. We will look at adding a beat to replace the Logic session drums and bass from episode 1, as well as exploring other sounds that will give our song more sonic options and originality. Whilst the Maschine is generally geared towards electronic music genres, it can be a great tool for writing and adding some highly original textures and ideas to your compositions. As with Logic, the standard Maschine library has a wide variety of virtual and sampled instruments from acoustic to electronic. The Maschine MK3 hardware is also an excellent tool for improvisation, rhythm building and arrangement variations, using patterns, scenes and sections that allow you to experiment. So let's get started. I'm first going to open Maschine 3 as a software instrument plugin within Logic. This also activates the MK3 hardware so you can play along to the existing Logic session. One of the joys of the MK3 hardware is the touch sensitive pads, allowing you to play the software instruments with far more feel. The Maschine user interface does take up a lot of the screen, however this can be hidden and expanded like any other plugin. The tempo and transport functions are automatically synced, allowing you to jam along as well as record ideas in real time. It's a good idea to check your preferences within Logic, depending on your setup. Here, I have selected the input device as the Maschine MK3 and the output device as my audio interface. I'm going to begin by adding my own drum beat. First, I will find a drum kit that I like the sound of by cycling through the group options on the hardware. You can also do this on the software and customize your kits and individual sounds should you choose to. I've added an empty 12-bar pattern on the Maschine and I'm playing along and recording it on the hardware using the MK3 drum pads. A quick way to build up drum patterns is to duplicate the pattern and then add other elements and variations to the beat. My first pattern was a basic kick and snare. Now I can add hi-hats and crash to the duplicated version. I've repeated the process and added some extra snare rolls using the Arpeggiator function into a third pattern. I'll now add another group for a piano sound using the excellent Native Instruments hybrid keys. Once selected, I will use the chord set function on the Maschine. This is an excellent compositional feature. The song is in the key of E minor, and once selected by cycling to the minor chord set option and then selecting the appropriate key using the semitone select function, the Maschine MK3 will display all of the complementary chords within the key of E minor. We can now play these chords in on the pads. This will allow us to quickly get creative both in the sense of harmony and even add ideas for arrangement. Again, I will play and record my ideas within a 12-bar pattern, firstly using full chords. I will now add a second pattern as another variation, this time using the Arpeggiator function to add a staccato element to the song. You can select the rhythm of the Arpeggiator and also lock the Arpeggiator in the on function so you can still see the chord names on the Maschine screen when you are playing. I'm now going to add my own bass line to replace the Logic session player bass from the first episode. I've selected a Native Instruments double bass as it fits my vision for the song. I've muted the Logic session bass to avoid clashing. I've again added an empty 12-bar pattern and I will play along to the track and then record the idea using the MK3 pads. You may want to edit and quantize your playing once you've finished to bring it in time with the track. I now have 3 variations of drum beats, 2 variations of piano parts and a bass line. Using the pattern selector, I can switch between the variations and mute the different instrumental elements in time with the track playing in Logic. This will enable me to experiment with the arrangement in real time. This is a fast, fun and hands-on approach. You can also arrange your individual patterns to play within scenes, which can be triggered using the scene selector function. I first added a series of empty scenes before assigning different selections of patterns to play within each one. Scene 1, for example, has the first drum pattern, which is a kick and snare beat only. Scene 2 has a second drum variation and pattern 1 of the piano. Scene 3 has the third drum pattern, the arpeggiated piano and the bass line. You can set the scenes to come in immediately when selected or at the end of each 12-bar round. Arranging your patterns within scenes is a really useful tool to get a better understanding of the combinations of sounds that work at various points within a song arrangement. Playing around with bringing them in and out gives you a real sense of how your song might develop. And again, it's a real fun, hands-on method that's quite unique to the Maschine MK3 and Maschine software. You can continue to experiment with muting different elements of the patterns even when working in the scenes mode. You can also switch scenes with the white buttons along the top of the MK3 hardware. As you've seen from the demonstrations, I've been able to quickly develop new ideas and integrate more sounds and sonic options into the arrangement, as well as replacing the Logic session player patterns that we used as placeholders during our initial recordings in episode 1. It may take some practice to get it right, but these tools will help you to put together a unique piece of music that reflects your personal creative vision. In the final episode, we will look at further integration between the two platforms, importing and exporting both audio and MIDI, as well as arrangement techniques for greater control when it comes to the mixing process. Thanks and see you next time.